Hey guys, it's Kristen. So it is about 8:30 p.m. tonight. I had planned to do this video this morning and that didn't work out. I also planned to do it this afternoon and things just didn't work out and couldn't get it done, and I've just been extremely frustrated. and I've let emotions get to me, unfortunately, today. And when I get overwhelmed, I get angry, and I really have to work on that and learn to control that. And I'm still trying to, heal and get things kind of moving in a better direction for my life. And I know I was going to do a video this weekend, and unfortunately, I ended up getting sick. I want to say it was or a Saturday night. Well, it's kind of Sunday morning, like around midnight, 1 a.m. Sorry, or 1 a.m. I started getting like a sore throat, and yeah, I had a fever and just not feeling very well. And so I literally could not make a video. I wanted to do the video so bad, and I guess just the universe was telling me not to do that and to just take time and rest. And obviously I needed to rest, and so that's what I've been doing. So if I cough, or if you hear me going, getting my throat, that's because I'm still sick, and that is why. And so hopefully I have enough time, because the sun is going down, and I thought, oh, well, it actually feels pretty nice outside right now. And, you know, and there's no one out here bothering me, and I can do a video and enjoy being outside and enjoy the view and enjoy the sunset and the sun going down. And yeah. So, what I wanted to talk about today is, again, more in depth of things about control and like fear of the unknown, also like changes and loss. And that kind of goes into things I was thinking about with motherhood, and want to talk about motherhood. And first, I'd want to talk about my infertility journey and how it led into all of that and to where I'm at now. So, with infertility, I went through infertility for 2 years. I did 3 surgeries, multiple medications. I actually did it was a shot. It was called Lupron, and it's actually for advanced prostate cancer. So it's a chemotherapy drug. That I it, that did not go well with my body. I lost half my hair. I was extremely sick, and I could only do that first month. They wanted me to do 6 months, and I just couldn't do it. So during that time of my infertility, it was actually, infertility was the hardest time of me going through something in my life. Infertility was extremely lonely. I felt extremely isolated and felt alone. I felt like nobody knew what I was going through. I just, I actually gained 50 pounds between the amount of time from end of 2016 to end of 2017. So from about a year, I gained about 50 pounds, which is a lot. That was actually the first time, too, that I ever had started using food for comfort and to get into that, is most of the time in the past, I would, if I'm extremely depressed or going through something that's hard for me, I would just not eat or sleep all day and just not feel like doing anything. But this was the first time that I actually started eating for comfort and enjoying it. And I'm not really sure why. I want to say maybe it was the medications doing that, or it was just another trigger of mine that I just decided that I was going to eat, and I liked eating, which I do like eating, but I'm more of a snack person. I'm not like big meals and eat that. I like to eat snacks throughout the day, like multiple snacks throughout the day. So yeah, so I gained 50 pounds. I I just went through a really rough time, and this was also the time with just learning about endometriosis and PCOS, and being told that I only had 1% chance of getting pregnant. And I went through an infertility specialist, and they said that the Lupron shot was the only thing that I had that would work at that point, which was just crazy. But yeah, infertility was extremely lonely, and I felt, especially as a woman, I did not feel like a woman. I felt it felt more of a like devalue. I felt also kind of degraded. I'm as a woman, that's what it is. And they explain, as being a woman is, to bear children and have children and be able to get pregnant. And I know nowadays, you can make your own decision. If you don't want to have children, that's fine. But for me, I've always wanted to have children. And during that time, especially in the beginning, and seeing the negative pregnancy test, it just made me feel more and more like a failure. And I felt like I just felt more like I wasn't a woman because I was unable to become pregnant and get pregnant on my own, or even get pregnant with help. And it it was just a extremely rough time, and I was able to actually go into groups and talk to women that dealt with the same issues, and that definitely helped me to move forward, and to also help talking to other women about my journey and helping them as well. And not only that, moving forward into like going into motherhood is definitely it's a lot of things. Right now it's especially difficult to talk about being a mom, because right now it's either, anti children, like no children at all, or it's, children, but talking about all of the issues that come with it, which is a good thing to talk about things that need to be changed, especially with how partners do things in their own relationships with their children. And not every, relationship or partnership is like that. But it's it's a hard thing to talk about because it's something that is not really fully explained, especially before you go into being a mom. And the crazy thing is, when I went through infertility, it was, oh, everybody's, oh, I'm gonna pray for you. Oh, I hope you're gonna have a kid, and it was just all positive. It was positivity, and just, it just felt good that people were bringing that to me, but I still felt extremely lonely because I felt like, well, no, you don't. I just thought in my head, like, you don't get it because you have children, but that's just not the case. That's just nobody is having children to hurt you or to get at you. And that was one thing that I had to learn and to realize is, oh, well, that's person didn't get pregnant because, I wanted a kid. It was because they got pregnant because it's their life and they want to have a child. Yeah, slab. So, yeah, anyways, everybody's so positivity and, oh, I'm so happy for you and, all of that. And once I got pregnant, it's like, oh, oh, just wait. You won't ever be able to sleep again. Oh my gosh, your life is over. And it just was like a 180. It's like, well, this is weird. You were so positive whenever I was trying to get pregnant, and then I get pregnant and it's just way different. But nobody tells you about the things that actually happen. Because every time that I would talk to, even with my mom, and now I get it. She would tell me she didn't really remember, and I understand that now because with postpartum depression and anxiety that I had with both my children, I don't remember the first, I want to say first 6 months, maybe first year. I want to say first year. I want to say first 6 months, but even up to a year, it kind of gets kind of blurry and confusing a bit. But I just, yeah, it's not something that people come to you and tell you certain things that actually happen into motherhood, and especially that your body is going to change completely, that not only is you and mentally going to change because your brain chemistry completely changes whenever you have a child, but also your body. And not everybody has the like loose stomach and stretch marks. Some people are lucky with the genetics and they go back to their what they call pre-pregnancy body. But let's just say this is, you never really go back to a pre-pregnancy body. That is something that you know society or the media wants to try to get women to think you can go back to your pre-pregnancy body. But the fact is, it doesn't matter. Once you have a child, you never really go back to a pre-pregnancy body, even though you may not have the loose skin or stretch marks. Your body does change. It doesn't exactly go back to pre-pregnancy. And that's the thing, is it's genetics. It is completely genetics, and you either have it or you don't. And that was never brought up to me, that your body can completely change, and that you will have loose skin and stretch marks, and not only a baby with that and everything else new. It's just something that is definitely needs to be more brought up about and talked about. And also with the fact that doctors will tell women that have endometriosis that if you get pregnant and have a child, that it will cure your endometriosis. And let me tell you this, that is not true. There is no cure. And if you have a child while you have endometriosis, it's going to come back. It may get a tiny bit better because you've had a year without any periods or any cycles. But once they come back and they become constant, it comes back. And then you have to learn how to not only take care of a child, but you have to learn how to do that now with dealing with, endometriosis, PCOS, whatever else that you may have. And it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. And especially with those hormones, because those hormones are insane. are very insane. And that's, the other thing about motherhood that nobody talks about is that all of your so-called friends or people that were around you when you were pregnant or before you got pregnant no longer exist, or there's a mosquito. They no longer exist and they're gone, or they just disappear. And I had all of them do that, and I had one that stayed for a little bit, for a few months, and then they just gone, never saw me. And I would sit there for months just thinking that it was my fault, or it was me, that there was something wrong with me, that that person would not want to contact me or not hang out with me anymore. And it took a while until I realized that it's not me, it's them. And that if there's anybody that is, I want to say this. If people really care about you or love you, they will let you know, and it will be shown. If you are having to send out text messages all the time, or call them, or try to hang out with them, but they cancel, or they say, "Oh, I'm busy," make excuse, or they just don't contact back. Or you could sit there and they're talking to you and they just disappear. And then they come back a few months later or whatever and go, "Oh, hello." You got to learn to let those people go. And I know it's hard. That is something that that I've been having to learn and to do, because it is so hard for me to let go of people, especially people that have been in my life that I have a special place for, because I am very, I I hold people so close. I have extreme emotion, and I try to get to know people so deeply that when I do and I have that, it is extremely hard for me to let those people go and learn to move forward and know that there are better people out there that will come into my life and treat me better and be there and be better, and also give that same energy back. And that's what you need from people, for sure. And especially with motherhood. Motherhood is the same thing. People can make excuses all they want, especially even if they have children or if they don't have children. People can make excuses. But if you're the only one that's trying to go out and reach out or hang out and you don't get that back, fuck them. Literally. Fuck off. I mean, they don't deserve you. Because you're badass. Bad fucking ass. I'm badass. Yes, I have issues, so does everybody else. Yes, I may be a little bit crazy or maybe insane. Who knows? But you know what? I know what kind of person I am, and I know who I am. And I know what I can give out. And with motherhood, it's really sad that right now we're in this kind of asking where is the village? Where is it? We were told about it, but where is it? What happens? And how can we change it? And the thing is, we can question it, but where's the solution? Like, where can we go to fix this? And honestly, this may take other women to come in and bring in their own opinions as well. But I feel like it's going to be with communities. And maybe there can be something else that can be brought up with this. But women are going to have to learn to come back together. Just like the divine feminine and the masculine. But feminine, we have to come back together and support each other. And right now, there's these issues with mom groups. And we all know, especially if you're a mom with the mom groups, and get told, you know, what you should do, what you're doing wrong. This is how you raise your child. You should breastfeed only, never formula, whatever you want to. And if you do something wrong, you get fucking beat and criticized and bullied like you're in high school. It's like you're in high school again whenever you're a mom. And you've got these cliques that just, and then you got to figure out which clique you belong in, or which group do you belong in now this new motherhood. And that's not going to solve anything. And what I've thought about is making communities and to have women come up and bring their children and be able to, and even women that do not have children that are thinking about having children can come and actually see what it is like to have children, what it's like, actually get a kind of a taste of it a little bit. So then they're a little bit more prepared for when they do have a children, or if they decide they don't want to, or if they do. And it would be a place that we can come together and support each other no matter what. Because that's the whole point, right? We cannot sit there and tell somebody else what we should do with our lives or what somebody should do with their life. It's just not how it's going to work. Because we have to live our own lives, and we have to tend to our children, and we have to make the decisions. And of course, yes, we have to try to break cycles and not continue those. But let me tell you, is like I've said before in previous videos, it doesn't matter. You can try to break every cycle that you can, but every person that comes into this life will have wounds, and we'll have to heal those wounds, and it does not matter. It does not matter how perfect you could be or how every cycle you could break. That person or that child is going to perceive something differently than you. And will see something that you did or you said or whatever that wounded them. That is going to be something that they're going to have to learn to heal. And it doesn't mean that you were a bad parent, or that you parented wrong or anything. It just means that was what that person was meant to learn in this life. We all have to learn things in this life. And that's the whole point, right? I mean, we're all just trying to figure this out. And all of us are different. All of us have different pasts and different wounds that we have to heal. And as a parent, you want to shield your child from the world and from things that are going on. But you can't fully do it. They're going to have to go out and learn and go out and make mistakes. And as a parent, it's just, it's hard. It's so hard right now. And especially with one side being so anti-child, and oh, I'm so glad I'm not having a child. I'm so glad I don't have a child. Oh, who would want to have a child right now in this world? Well, guess what? Why not? Why not? Why do you think the world is always going to end? Why do you think the media was putting fear out? Everything's fear. Fear this, fear that. Fear everything. Why wouldn't you have a child? Because what? The daycare is too expensive. The formula shortage that everybody's freaking out about, and everything else. But why would you let fear decide something for you? Because then you're not really living, right? You're not living a full life if you're letting fear control you. And especially right now with the system and how they're definitely targeting our children. This is the time where we really need to watch our children, and even people that do not have children. This is a time that anybody that you know that has children, watch out for those children. Because I want to give an example here, an analogy here. Because a lot of Gen Zs are talking about trauma and things that have happened in their childhood, and this is another reason why they're deciding to not have children. What would I say about the things that you were going through as a child that were traumatizing or that happened? What if the generation above you, so I'm going to say that as adults, which I think would be Gen Y, I maybe Gen X, but I would say Gen Y. I'll say Gen X, maybe Gen X and Gen Y. But what would you say if that generation came in and stopped it and fought for you and fought for what was going on and didn't let that happen to you? How would you feel about that? Because I'm telling you that I think that's what we need to do. We need to do that for the children in this generation and fight for them because they are the future. We're adults now. I mean, I don't know who's watching this, but maybe you're a child, but I would assume it would be adults watching this. But as an adult, that is who you need to look out for and care for is the children, and that they are the future. And they're the ones that are also going to be taking care of us in our last days here. So think about the way that you would want to treat them, or where you would wish that that's how you were treated when you were a child. But there's things that we can change altogether, and we can work on these things, because guess what? Right now, especially with this, Roe v. Wade going on, the Democrats are just using this as a way for voting. And do you think they really care about women's rights? Either side. I mean, there's so many things that need to be changed. And especially allowing infertility to be thousands of dollars for women that are wanting a child that cannot have a child. And then even if the women want to have an abortion, I am not for abortion, but you know what? If somebody wants to have an abortion, that's on them. That's not me. I cannot tell somebody what they should do with their life. And who am I to judge whenever I have done things in my life? We need to stop looking at other people and start looking at ourselves and fixing ourselves instead of judging other people for what they've done or what they're doing. You know, they're so loud tonight. And if nobody knows me and is watching this video, this is obviously in Oklahoma here, and this is summertime here. And today, and actually tonight, it is beautiful. It is so nice outside, and it feels awesome. And look at this. So I had a whole outfit picked out for this video. I had a whole outfit picked out. I even had like nice earrings, and talking about motherhood. This is motherhood here. I had to put on it actually says "tired as a mother," and it's just like this is it, But at the same time, it is a blessing to have children and to watch them. There are so many things that I have had to relearn from children, especially my children. And like I said, they go in and they have no fear. They have no fear on, they go out and they will just do it. And, I try to sit there and go, try, because I really have, I have to control myself when it comes to trying to tell them to be careful or going out to go get them and having to let them do their own thing. And that is something that I've had to learn and, kind of sit there and try to relax and just let them do their thing. Let them do their thing. But yeah, I had some other things I think I was going to talk about, but like I said, I write these things down, and I had so many other things I was going to talk about this morning, and it literally just whoop. I guess that's what I was going to talk about more was postpartum, and like I said, especially with women and caring about women, our system needs to change a lot when it comes to what women have to deal with and go through. And postpartum was definitely an eye-opener for sure. I've dealt with a lot of other things with endometriosis and PCOS the last 15 years, and it's been really awful. It's been awful for the things that I've gone through and seen in the healthcare system. And the healthcare system has got to change as well. It's got to change, because there's no way that it can keep going like this. Especially, it just can't. There's no way. But with postpartum, you don't really get much help. They just throw pills at you, and you have to just learn how to deal with the postpartum depression or anxiety on your own. with no help, no therapy, no nothing. But for me, I want to say is the hardest thing for me was the the postpartum body, because I've always had issues with my body. I've always I've always had issues. I've always never really liked the way that I looked, or, and especially I would say my stomach. I've always had insecurities with my stomach and how it's looked. And like I said, nobody prepared me for the way that, the way my body would change after having a child, and especially after having a 9-pound baby for my first child. Definitely, definitely changed the way that I looked. And society makes it look like, oh, so and so just had a baby a month ago or 3 months ago. Look at how they look. And they're skinny, and they have, you know, they're skinny, and they just look really good, you know? And it is, it is so, it is so bad that they don't show what it really is like. They don't show the actual reality of what a postpartum body looks like. So then, you know, men think that we're supposed to look like these models, or we're supposed to look like we were before we had children. And that is just not true. And that's just not the case. I think it's like 80% of women, which I don't know if that's the number. I mean, you can go look that up. But I think, like I said, I think it's around 80%. It may be more, maybe a little bit less, that have the loose skin and stretch marks. And that's what I had, and it was loose skin, and it was stretch marks all the way through, all the way through. And that was the hardest thing for me to deal with. And especially after losing weight, it was still there. And to learn how to have a new body, basically, it feels like having a new body completely. Like you feel almost like a whole different person. This is, like I said, this is for me. This is me. And I hope this relates to maybe some people, but it made me feel like a completely different person. And it has been especially hard to accept that this is who I am now, and this is what I have going on now. And I've even contemplated on having surgery and taking that out and changing it. And I'm trying to learn to love myself for the way I am, and to love myself because I have put souls in this world. I put two souls in this world. And that stomach, my new stomach right there, that's what I held for 9 months and made. And I just hope that any women that are having issues with their body, I want you to know that you are amazing, that you fucking did it. You fucking did it. You carried that baby or babies, and you put souls in this world. And now you have that as a reminder, but also it's just, to me, it's a beautiful thing, and it should not be put out, especially in society, that that's not what you're supposed to look like. That it's supposed to be you're back to your pre-pregnancy body, and that's it. So I hope that I could encourage a little bit for some people maybe that is suffering with that or dealing with that. Uh, I'm still going through that, and I'm still learning to love myself now for who I am, and know that if somebody is going to not love you or not like you because of the way that you look now, or because of that, or anything else, they don't deserve to be in your life. They don't deserve you. They don't. Learn to know when to let go of people who are dark and who just want something from you. And learn to be around people who bring that light into your life and help you, and actually help you learn to grow as well, and you learn things from them, and you teach them things. And especially with me, is I have to learn how to get people's energy off of me, and learn to know what my energy is, and make sure it's my energy and not someone else's. That's what I've been trying to learn as well right now at this point in my life. Like I said, we're all kind of going through this process right now of figuring out everything and who we are, what we want to do, and really, like I said, who we are. Like, as a soul, who are we? And what do you want to do in this life? Like I said, this whole fear thing of this world's going to end, and everything's going to shit, and everything's going wrong, and the shortage, and this and that, and yeah, it sucks. But you know what? Live life. Stop freaking out about things that you have no control over, because let me tell you, you have no control over these things. So why are you giving your energy to something that you have no control over? Learn to give your energy to things that are more positive. And learn to give your energy to things that will help and bring difference. And hopefully we can come together and learn to help each other and be there for each other. And I know that may sound fucking corny. You know, people say it the fuck, like, that's fucking corny of, yeah, we just love and compassion and care. But no, but really though, I mean, we have gone so far apart from people, and I feel it, because I love talking to people, and I will go to places and try to have conversations with people, and immediately I can tell if somebody's walls just poop, and they don't want to talk, or they're shut off completely and you can't conversate with them. And it's unfortunate that most people that I talk to have that fucking wall up of they don't want to talk, or they're just, and we have to learn to come back together again and learn to be more open and loving towards each other. And that's definitely what we need to start doing. And that's going to take time, for sure. But yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the motherhood thing, and especially the infertility. And like I said, I've been trying to do, videos on both things, especially like spirituality. And I know definitely I can talk about women's health because I have gone through that, and it is not fun, but it's something that I'm good at talking about and definitely know about. So I would definitely like your opinions on what you feel like you enjoy better, or maybe you enjoy both of them together, or just maybe one thing, like spirituality for one video a week and then women's health the other. Like I said, I'm just going with this. I'm just going with the flow, and I am doing what I feel is right and at the time. And like I said, I usually have my phone, so I have better image and better video, and I usually have it into the other room, or it looks better, and I have my lighting. But it takes like 8 hours for the video to load, and it takes forever, and then it may take 12 hours. And then I have other issues, which I don't mind doing the phone as well, but really, with the desktop that I'm on right now, it is a lot easier to film and then post later on. It's quite easier, but the image is not as, it's not as smooth as what it is on my iPhone. But right now at the time, because with the timing and everything, and basically everything going to shit earlier, I decided I was going to take the laptop and I was just going to go outside and film and have that peace and quiet. But as you hear the frogs, and you hear the I forgot what they're called, cicadas, or I should know this, but I don't remember the name. But it's just nice to be in this, to be in nature and to enjoy it sometimes, be outside and get that energy off of me and enjoy. But right now this sun has gone down, and I've been talking now for about 50 minutes, so that's quite a lot. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm gonna go now because the June bugs are out, and I do not like June bugs. So I will see you guys this week. I'm gonna do another video. So have a good night. Bye.